Good morning, students. How are you all? Why? Very good. Today, we are going to learn block number 11, that is, new political formation. In this chapter, we are going to learn the new policies formation. In 18th century, there were many changes in the Mughal Empire. The Empire Aurangzeb extended the boundaries of the empire to the south of India and gained control of the almost the entire subcontinent. However, this could not stay under the control of the Mughals for a long time. After the death of Aurangzeb, the process of disintegration started. His descendants, also known as the later Mughals, which were not a patch on their forefathers, they were weak and in no time lost their power and prestige. This gave rise to many semi independent or autonomous states and some foreign powers establishing themselves in many territories. Although the Mughal dynasty continued to exist after the death of Aurangzeb, its influence was limited to Delhi region. The emperor who had lived so luxuriously now reduced to the status of receiving a pension from a foreign power. Why did this happen? Let us find out. Here, during Mughal time, they had some lack in their ruling. So the downfall began of Mughal and many independent states started. What were the reason for the downfall and how did it happen? The Mughals, which were in power from 1526 to 1707, and after this their downfall started. What were the reasons? The religious intolerance, their interference to other region, and continuous battles with Rajput or Sikh and their strict administration, which led to rebellion with the Sikh. And these continuous battles made them financially weak. And due to these continuous battles, the absence of Aurangzeb that also involved because the officers got involved in the court politics. This gained to conspiracies, and this was the result why Mughal Empire downfall began. After the death of Aurangzeb, his grandsons or his sons they were unable to manage as Mughal Empire was huge and extended till south. There was other reason also. Aurangzeb he was advised to divide his empire within his sons, but he refused to divide. And the cause was their internal battle. This internal battle also made them weak, weak by power, weak by wealth, and they started dividing. And as a result, they were unable to control their subedars and mansabdars. Some of the officers who occupied important offices, such as governors, Diwani, and Fauzdari, consolidated their power in the region. This led to huge decline in the yearly submission of revenue. Mughal had employed people from diverse backgrounds who worked well together under the strong rulers. But after the death of Aurangzeb, his weak successor could not control various group of nobles called Turanis from Turkey, Irans from Persia, and Hindustan. These groups started conspiring against each other. They began to play the role of kingmaker, tried to gain control of the best position like that of wazir and the diwani. As a result, two Mughal emperors, Farrukhsiyar and Alamgir II, were murdered, while two others, Ahmad Shah and Shah Alam II, were blinded. And as the Mughals got weak, the zamindars and the jagirdars, they also rebelled, rebelled against the king and denied to pay taxes, a regular tax. Invasion of Nadir Shah and Ahmad Shah Abdali. The Mughal emperor was further shaken up by the invasions of Nadir Shah. You can see in figure 1, ruler of Iran, who plundered the city of Delhi in 1739 CE. Following this, between 1748 to 1761, there were multiple invasions by the Afghan rulers. Ahmad Shah Abdali, figure 2, you can see there, who conquered and plundered many regions from Lahore to Mathura. These attacks were a huge blow to the prestige of the one great Mughal empire. Due to Mughals' internal and external hold became weak, the foreign rulers they also attacked and they took advantage of this and started their rule. And day by day, this made Mughals weaker and weaker and weaker. And also, the foreign rulers, the foreign European traders who came to India were kept under control by the strong rulers. But when they saw these internal conspiracies and their internal situation, they also took advantage. They too began to assert themselves. Gradually, they gained control over the trade and territories owning their superior naval power and well-trained forces. The Mughals, who had taken over from the Sultan due to their superior war tactics, failed to modernize their army with time and faced defeat. With the rise of the foreign power, their control was reduced to the walls of Red Fort in when Nadir Shah attacked to Delhi. He took a lot of wealth with him. That was 60 lakh of royal currency, thousand of gold coins, jewels, most of them unique and one of their kind worth crores, along with the famous Kohinoor and Peacock throne were taken away to Persia. After this, the Mughal were weaker and poor too. During the time, those who had lived in a sheer luxury were now reduced to poverty. Those who were respected and literally worshipped could not get water to drink. High and mighty were forced to move on to the street, and many were homeless. Those who wore finest clothes were almost without clothes. The new city built by Shah Jahan was reduced. to rebel with heap of dead, destroying the whole world of existence in it. See how badly they were defeated due to their internal conspiracy, their internal weakness, and their officers. Emergence of autonomous states. During this time, emergence of autonomous state began. Many of the states were formed. With the decline of Mughal authority, the Subedars of large province like Awadh, Bengal and Hyderabad became very powerful. They started exercising their authority within the regions. Interestingly, they did not break away from the Mughal Empire and continued to accept the Mughal emperor as their head. And in Awadh, Sadat Khan, he was appointed as the Subedar of Awadh, 1722. Awadh, situated in the alluvial plain of the Ganga, was one of the richest regions of the empire and controlled the trade route of northern India to Bengal. He controlled all the high positions of the Fauzdari and Diwani and managed the political, military, and financial affairs of the state. He slowly decreased the Mughal influence in Awadh by reducing the size of Mughal Jagirs and transferring all the Jagirdars to the neighboring region. He then appointed his own Jagirdars and checked their account periodically. He got the revenue of the region reassessed, started the system of Jagirdar or revenue farmers who agreed to pay a fixed sum of money to the state periodically. We will learn more about this in detail in the next session. Same thing happened in Bengal. Murshid Uli Khan, he was appointed as Naib Subedar, is a deputy governor, but he soon started controlling the important positions in his in the state and gradually broke away from Mughal control. He shifted his capital from Dhaka to new city Murshidabad. He then, like Subha of Awadh, he too reduced the number of Mughal Jagirs, same as Ahmad Quli Khan. What he did, he also removed or he also shifted the Mughal Jagirdars and increased his own trusted officers. He also reassessed the revenue and a fixed amount was done for all the payers. This made the farmers or the traders happy. And like this, in this way, these all Nawabs they removed or they decreased the Mughal Jagirdars and established their own power in the region. But still, they started paying Mughals a nominal revenue because they don't want the interference of Mughal and to bring prosperous and peace in their region and good administration. They provided safe roads and rivers to the traders by establishing thanas or checkposts and kept the foreign companies under check. Hyderabad. The state of Hyderabad was established by Nizam ul Mulk Asaf Shah in 1724. He also had played important role of kingmaker in Delhi and therefore managed to get the governorship of Deccan region between 1720 and 1722. He quietly gained control over the region, taking advantage of the political confusion and competitions in the Delhi court. He quickly consolidated the area around Hyderabad by appointing his own Mansabdar and Jagirdars, but did not declare independence from Delhi. Hence, he did not face any interference from the Mughal rulers, who simply confirmed his decision. He started what is called the Asaf Jahi dynasty and preferred to be addressed as Nizam. He brought in talented people to look after the administration and recruited Telugu warriors to keep his region secure from the Marathas. However, when he tried to take control of the rich textile area of the Coromandel coast, the British did not allow him to do so. These three regions were the first to emerge as separate state from the Mughal Empire. Interestingly, even they meet with the same fate as the Mughals by becoming victims to British conspiracies later, and lost their power and prestige in a short span of time. The Rajputs, Rajput Principality. The Rajput Mansabdars, who were considered one of the loyal allies of Mughal ruler, they were allowed to control their region they belonged to. Their homeland were assigned to them as Watan Jagir. This allowed them to control their local region with the help of their agent appointed to different region as Subedars and Mansabdar. Even the greater Mughal addressed them as Rajas and did not interfere in their region once they had accepted the suzerainty of the Mughals. Among the Rajput states, two states of Amber, that is Jaipur, and Jodhpur became very powerful under the leadership of Raja Savai Jai Singh and Raja Ajit Singh, respectively. Both had occupied a lot of wealth and power as the governor of Malwa, Agra, and Gujarat, which were assigned to them for many years, contrary to the rule of frequent transfer. But in 18th century, these Rajput Rajas also took advantage of the Mughal emperor because they were weak, and by this time everyone was taking advantage. Rajput also did the same thing. They extended their watans, or they extended their watan jagirs by annexing neighboring region to bring them under their control. For example, Bundi came under the control of Amber and Nagaur under the control of Jodhpur. However, their ambition to extend their state was checked by the growing Maratha power. Most of Rajput states were involved in conflict and conspired against each other, went against them, and Raja Ajit Singh became victim to one such conspiracy and was killed. However, Raja Jai Singh of Amber emerged as one of the most outstanding ruler of Rajasthan. He built a famous city of Jaipur, and being an accomplished scientist and astronomer, he made the city the seat of science and art. He constructed many observatories called Jantar Mantar to measure time, predict eclipse, and other astronomical phenomena. The city of Jaipur was planned strictly on scientific principle. He was a good administrator too. He enforced laws to reduce lavish expenditure on weddings and to curb the evil practice of female infanticide. An account of Raja Ajit Singh, the Mughal emperor, promoted Mansab of Raja Ajit to Sat Hazari and rewarded him handsomely. He presented him with an insignia, elephants and horses, a sword and dagger, diamond circlets, and a plum of double string of pearls. The administration in the new states, state of Awadh, Bengal, and Hyderabad, managed to emerge as autonomous region due to many common factors. On close observation of the map, we will see that all these regions were located around the indigo genetic range that was extremely rich in source and had fertile soil, and therefore trade flourished. There was a common factor also between them, many common factors. However, one of the common factor among them was that they did not completely break away from the Mughal code in Delhi and continued to send nominal revenue to the emperor periodically. They also retained the title of Nawab and Nizam, conferred upon them by the Mughal emperors. These terms originated from the word Nayab, meaning important officer. Was probably because they wanted to rule the region without any interference and avoid competitions from the other court officials and conspirators. Though their governorship, these rulers brought about peace in their region by suppressing the rebellious zamindars, established chowkis or thanas, checkpost or police station to make the trade route safer. They secured the region from the Maratha attacks by recruiting skilled warriors in Hyderabad, while Murshid Quli Khan of Bengal made peace with the Maratha. All the Subedars recruited efficient administration from all communities, following the Mughal tradition which had gone missing in Delhi. They were aware of court politics and the corrupt officials, and hence they transferred the Mughal Jahagirs and Mughal officers from their region and appointed their own trusted officers. They also reassessed the revenue and kept an account. They observed it frequently and collected the revenue strictly. The system of revenue collection was called ijaradari, in which portion of land were given to the zamindars who bid from them and assured them a fixed amount periodically. In case the zamindar or ijaradars were unable to pay on time, the right to collect revenue was given to someone else. Hence, to ensure that the land stayed with them, the Jagirdars paid them on time, even if they had to take loans from the local bankers and money lenders. And this resulted, bankers and money lenders also became more powerful and involved in politically. All these factors won them popularity among the locals who happily accepted them as their ruler as time went by. So, children, have you understood the topic? What were the reasons why the Mughals were weak and how after Mughals the various regions or the various state came into emerge. What were the changes in the administration, the political formation, due to some weaknesses, untrust, and we can say these officers were corrupt. Due to this, Mughal were defeated and declined, and new states and political formations and new regions came into existence. Hope you all have understood the topic. Now, read the lesson, go through the lesson, mark your doubts. During online session, we'll clear it. And today, I'll send you the PDF practice questions. Complete this also and try to solve your workbook, for which answers, all the prepared answers I am not going to give. You have to try in your workbook. Whichever question is difficult for you or you are unable to prepare the answer of that question, that we'll discuss during our online session. Okay, so read the lesson, try to solve the workbook, and complete your PDF file which I'll send of practice questions. Okay, children, bye bye. Take care, stay safe. Let's meet in our online session. Till then, stay happy. Bye bye.